Well, hello everyone, this is Brett Darian, and today I just thought I'd try on one of these vlog things. I actually have been thinking about something for a little while now, and I just wanted to talk about it and see what you guys might think about it. So a little forewarning, this video might be a little long, a little ranty, a little rambly, so if you don't like listening to me talk, well, then you're probably not going to like this video. But I do hope you stick around, because I think I do have a couple of interesting points to make here. So anyway, what I have been thinking about is just how we have so many choices today when it comes to entertainment, mostly. This is what this video is going to be about. It's going to be about choices for entertainment, like movies and TV shows and video games too, of course. Like, we just have so many outlets now to go to for these sources of entertainment that it can become so overwhelming. So let's start with movies and TV shows. Um, so so back in the day, like when I was a kid, or maybe when you were a kid, you would go to the movie theater to watch a new movie that came out, or if you wanted to watch a movie at home, you either did one of two or three things. You would either buy the movie when it came out on DVD, VHS, whatever, or you would go to Blockbuster or Hollywood Video or wherever to rent the video and bring it home and watch it. Or three, he would just wait for it to show on TV, for it to show on either Fox or ABC or something, and you'd watch it then with commercials. Um, so so that's how you watched movies, like, 10, 20 years ago and prior. But now we have so much more we can watch. Not only do we have movies, now we have a bunch of TV shows. Now we have Netflix. Now we have Hulu. Now we have HBO Max. Now we have Paramount Plus. And now we have Disney Plus. And there's more coming. Like, they're continuously launching more streaming services. It's like every other week or so, there's like another streaming service coming out that's launching. It's like there's so much to watch now. Like, when you go on Netflix or Hulu or wherever like whatever you use, how long do you actually spend watching something as compared to looking for something to watch or deciding on what to watch? That's the point here. Too many choices. Too many choices actually can waste your time, because you're spending so much time just trying to decide what to watch that you end up wasting more time. And if you end up not watching anything at all, and I know this happens to me a lot, it's just that there's just so much stuff to choose from that I'm just like, man, this is just so much that I'm just not going to watch anything. Like, has that ever happened to you? Like, you've just been looking through Netflix or Hulu or Disney Plus, and there's just so much stuff that you could watch, so much stuff that you could choose, that you're just like, man, I can't make a choice. And you just turn it off, and you're like, I'll go do something else. Because making a choice can be tough when you have so many choices. So, yeah, so I'm not really liking this trend of more streaming services coming out and launching, and all this digital streaming distribution and stuff. It just makes things too easy. It's so easy to watch. And like, there's so much to watch now. Like, I'm honestly wondering, how can anyone, like, when I look through Netflix and Hulu, and because I haven't had Netflix in quite a few years, but I do have Hulu, and I do have like HBO Max, because it's included with my internet package. Like, when I'm looking through all this stuff to watch, I'm like, who can honestly sit here and watch all this stuff. Like, how can you find the time to watch all this stuff? Like, there's just so much. There's so many movies and TV shows and seasons and episodes. Like, how can you honestly find time to watch all this? Especially if you have a full-time job or a family to care for, or something else, like a life to live. How can you watch all this stuff? I mean, no disrespect if you do, but but seriously, like, how can you find time to watch all this stuff? Because there's just so much of it to watch. And there's more coming. There's more new TV shows coming out, and more seasons, and more episodes, and so they just keep adding more. So your backlog just keeps growing, and so if you don't keep up with it all, then you're even more overwhelmed with stuff to watch. So, and same thing with movies, because like you used to you used to have to go to the movie theater to watch a new movie, but now it's getting to the point, and this is partly because of the famous C virus, that now you don't have to even go to the movie theater to watch a new movie. We're already seeing this with HBO Max now streaming certain new movies from day one as soon as they come out in theaters. Well, now you can watch it online, instantly. So we're already seeing that happen, and that's probably just going to keep happening as we continue moving forward. So yeah, so that's the whole thing with movies and TV shows. There's just so many options now. So many streaming services. There's just so many of them now. So much stuff to watch. But yet just not enough time to watch it all. And so now video games. I have about probably between 50 to maybe 75 physical copies of video games. And this is actually a pretty small collection, because there are people that have thousands of video games. Like, people like serious collectors have thousands of video games. But think about it. There is honestly no way. There is no way that you're going to have the time to play all those video games. No way. Sure, you could sit down and just binge play a bunch of video games at one time. You can sit down and play a video game for 10 minutes, then move on to another one. Sure. But there's a lot of video games now that take hours to complete and to actually get through the story and to unlock everything. Like, that takes a lot of time to get the full experience. And there's so many video games out now too, because video games have been a thing since the 70s, if not maybe before that. So we have so many generations of video games now that the stockpile of video games keeps growing. And now we have, and like young kids now that are just getting into video games, well, now they have this huge backlog of video games to play. Like great video games from the 90s and 80s that they had never played yet. And those are experiences that, that any gamer should experience, but now we have new games plus all these old games. So again, so many choices. And one other point I want to make is that I don't like this trend that society is headed, and this may not even be a trend. This might just be where we're at right now. Like we are just, we're prioritizing convenience over everything else. Like the experience doesn't matter anymore. Like we just don't want to leave our houses. We don't want to leave our homes to do anything. Like we don't want to go to the movie theater. We don't want to go to a game store and buy a game. We don't want to go to a movie store or a retail store to buy a movie. Now we just want to sit with our laptop or our tablet or our smartphone and just instantly have access to everything instantly. And while I get that is convenient, especially for some people, like if you're really, really busy and you don't have time to do all that stuff, I understand how that can be beneficial. But you still miss out on so much. Um, you, I mean, you still miss out on so many experiences. Like when I was a kid, and maybe when you were a kid, you m- maybe you went to a Blockbuster or Hollywood Video or some other video rental store on Friday night to rent a movie or rent a video game for the weekend. And that's how you got a chance to actually see. Sorry, my screensaver's coming off. That's how you got the chance to see maybe what new games were available or what new movies were available. Because back then we didn't really. Maybe you didn't have internet back then, or you didn't have any magazines to look at. So you had to go to the rental store to actually see what new stuff's available. And so you would go to this movie rental store on Friday nights to rent a movie or video game for the weekend. And that was fun, right? Just seeing all the stuff on the shelf and just going there and being in that atmosphere. It's just, like it just felt good. It just felt like a fun time. And it just felt exciting. And that's an experience that you can't have anymore. Well, not unless you live in Bend, Oregon. But elsewhere, you can't have that experience anymore. And part of that is because we have so many other choices now to get all that stuff. Again, we have so many other streaming services. And because you don't need a TV to play video games anymore, you don't need a video game console to play video games anymore, because services like Google Stadia are trying to change that. And you don't have to go to the store to buy a video game at all anymore. Now you can just purchase it online through PlayStation Network or Xbox Live and just download it. Really simple and quick. Well, assuming you have fast internet to download it. But anyway, yeah, point is, yes, very convenient, but you're missing out on stuff. The experience also matters. And just having some excuse to get out of your house and go somewhere else to get something to bring back to your home to enjoy, that is a fun experience. Sure, it might be more inconvenient, but it's part of living. Because staying in your house all day and just doing everything on your computer, on your phone, on your computer, on your TV, that's not really living. It's really not. And when you have all these choices, all these streaming services, all these things that just keep you at home, I'm just not liking that trend. And I do think that we're missing out on a lot of stuff by all this convenience that's coming to us. And again, convenience can be a good thing, but it can also hurt you and waste more time in the end. So that's my take on it. That's my opinion. But if you have, what do you think about this? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you think. And thank you so much for watching. And I will see you next time.